Okay, we've created a lot of different effects that we can use to mangle audio signals, however we import those audio signals, whether it's from a playlist, SF Play, ADC, or something else. So now let's chain things together. So in my Finder, I've got a bunch of these patches that I've already created, which we can use. I'm going to just do a couple here. Let's just do a classic chorus effect. So I'm going to just go in here, copy everything with Command C, paste it in here. Chorus always goes nicely with the flanger, so I'm going to grab the flanger. I'm going to copy everything except for those text files. I'm going to paste it in here, and hey, it might help if I actually pasted, and then we'll move it over. And last but not least, I'm going to grab reverb. So here is reverb, reverb, copy, close, paste. Now, I had said earlier that kind of the order of things is important. Actually, I can put reverb down there. That way we can see everything. And that you would want to use variables when you're assigning everything. And that is really key. And the reason for that, after I do a little bit of cleanup, is what I'm about to show you here. To use sends and receives, you want to use variable names. And the reason why you want to do that is because if you have variable names, then you can just easily reconnect things here. So I only need one output, and that's whatever the final part is in my effects chain. So we'll say that, you know what, I'm going to make my reverb the final part of my effect. So I want receive V out to be here at the very bottom. Now, I want chorus to come first, then flanger, then reverb. So chorus, everything comes in from this playlist, goes down into the dry and into the wet, gets processed, and then comes out of C out. What I can do here is I don't need this playlist of Anton.aif. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Option on Mac, or you could do Alt on a PC, and that will highlight those cables. I'm going to grab them and connect them to C out. And now everything that comes out of chorus here goes into the flanger. And then everything coming out of the flanger goes to the F out. And I can make this really, really obvious by selecting chorus, send, and receive. And then let's change the background color of those. Wow. Then, to show the path for flanger, we'll select those. Background color. We're going to go with kind of a fuchsia. I like to use things that, remind me of what the function is. So cyan, sort of. For the chorus, fuchsia, sort of. For the flanger, and then I'm going to take that down here, connect it up like that, delete, and then that's going to go to V out, which will color as violet, or eggplant, I guess, according to Apple's color, like so. So now, I'm going to make sure everything is 100% dry, and I should hear good old Anton. And we do. Now, I will give it some funky chorus with a huge amount of depth. And then I will send that to the flanger. Okay. Still don't have any reverb. Let's add some. How about 3.5-ish seconds? That would be 3,500 milliseconds. There we go. That sounds hip. Now, at this point, I would want to put my final volume scaler in here. I'm just going to use good old live.gain. Connect. It's mono, so I'm only going to take the left out. But here we go. So by using sends and receives, and then by color coding them, I can see exactly how the signal travels through the virtual buses. I have physical connections going into the very first dry and wet in the chorus. Then they both go to the same send. That goes to the same named receive, and then it's split up exactly like before. I'm just replacing the playlist with the receive. That goes through the dry and wet processing and gets sent to a named send, which comes down here to a named receive. And again, it's just replacing the playlist. It goes into here for the dry and the wet and is sent one last time to a named receive. And doing that, it's really easy to prototype and build up lots and lots of patches. And as we've discussed in class, you can do this as well by creating abstractions and sub-patches. But that is something that, again, we've already talked about in class. If you had questions on that, we'll talk about it a lot more as you're working on your project for comp project number 2.